Thanks very much for coming indoors, leaving the bright sun outside. I hope you'll enjoy the morning. So I promise we will finish just after noon. Okay, so it's only going to be a morning session today. So as many of you here know, this is part of the project British Raj in the Peak District that we are running at the Hindu Samaj, Sheffield District. And I'm one of the project coordinators. I usually tend to take the lead, and then I've got a few of my team here as well. So very warm welcome to all of you. Sorry we're a bit delayed in starting. If you've not already discovered, the door is out there and the toilets are sort of towards my right over here. And, well, there's no fire alarm testing that goes on Saturday. Just have to say these things. But other than that, I haven't seen your consent forms, especially those who've coming in for this workshop. If you have any objections about photographs and videos, please let us know. Is there anyone here if you want to put your hands up? Right, okay, thank you very much. We're going to follow the programme as we've laid out here, so there are no changes to the programme, apart from the fact that we started a bit late. I'm going to now leave the floor to Kimberly Marwood, who is the coordinator for the University of Sheffield Research and Community Heritage Project. She's going to tell us a few words about her work.
Hi, I'm Kim Marwood, and like Chamu said, I'm the project officer for Research and Community Heritage. I've got some pictures, so I'll bring them up. So this is the project I'm involved with, and it's actually funded by the AHLC, and we've been working since May last year to support community groups and organisations across Sheffield to undertake history and heritage projects across the region. Initially, we helped support groups to apply to All Our Stories through the Heritage Lottery Fund for £3,000 to £10,000. So that was my first contact with Chamu, who called me up, and we didn't actually meet for about 2 months. We just spoke on the phone and had lots of emails exchanging where I was offering advice. So it really was a kind of collaborative effort with the application form. So we work with the National Coordinating Centre for Public Engagement, and the idea behind that is to get academics and universities out into communities and working with real people outside of academia. So this project is a really good, successful example of that. It's linked academics in the university from across the arts and humanities and outside actually. Chamu's got a kind of dual role, working in the School of Law and as a community partner. So some of the projects in addition to this that we're involved with, just to give you a sense of the diversity of our engagement, this one was with a group called Healy History Workshop, who are a group of elderly residents up in Healy who wanted to find out more about the social life of that community. So they looked into the history of the community from the 1920s to the present, and I worked with 4 students two from archaeology, 2 from English, to work with that group to produce a film. So whilst the research is actually coming from them and the knowledge and expertise is coming from that community, what we do is we can help with skills and advice and knowledge that perhaps they don't have. So it really is a collaborative effort. And this is an example of one of the students sat with Julia there, one of the community group members. This was a project with Roundabout, which is a homeless shelter for young people in Sheffield. And we did a similar trip actually to the one that's organised this afternoon, and that's to Sheffield Archives and Local Studies Library. And one of the kind of impetus behind our project is to reach out to groups that perhaps wouldn't ordinarily be engaged in heritage and historical research. So what we did was take the group and work with them at the Local Studies Library to find out more about the history of the building that their hostel is based in, which actually dates from the 1790s. So these young people are quite vulnerable, often didn't study history at school or even finish school, so it was a real challenge. But they were really engaged and enjoyed using the microfilm machine and looking at the early town maps. You'll be hopefully using something similar this afternoon. That was as they're digging through the maps. And finally, this is a project, again, which works with a group that perhaps on their own, without university support, wouldn't be looking into their own history and heritage. And that's an organisation called Assist, which is a charity that works with asylum seekers in Sheffield. And we've been going along for the last 2 months to their conversation club on a Friday to work with people from all around the world, Iran, Bangladesh, and we work with those people to write stories and create photo diaries of their experiences back home, but also their journey to Britain and their engagement with Sheffield. So it gives the students who are involved a really different perspective on the city, so it's a nice opportunity to collaborate there. So back to Hindu Samaj. 2 of the key words that we use in this kind of work between universities and community groups are collaboration and co-production. And they're really technical and they don't really have a great deal of meaning. But actually, through my involvement with this project, I think I'm starting to understand what that means. I think collaboration means working together and bringing people from different walks of life, different knowledge and experience together, and everybody putting their time, effort and energy into working together. And that's certainly been the case, and I've been really impressed by the way the team, the extended team at the Hindu Samaj have been really committed to this. And co-production, I think that relates a little bit more to the role of the academics in this project, which has been a kind of a really organic relationship that's developed. Esme, who you'll hear from shortly, is an early career researcher on our project. But coincidentally, just as she was starting last September and this project was getting off the ground, we discovered that she had very similar research interests and that there was a kind of synergy between what Chamu and Hindu Samaj were trying to do and what Esme's knowledge and experience was. Again, with Helen Smith, who is you'll also hear from shortly, is a postdoctoral researcher and has a wealth of knowledge on Edward Carpenter, which you'll learn this afternoon. She was connected with the group and has subsequently been working with Hindu Samaj over the course of the last month or 2, I think. So co-production really, in this sense, means working together to share research and to have kind of shared authorship of what comes out of that. So it really has been a kind of combined effort. So this is some of the team. I'm sure you've seen this image on the website at a steering group meeting. And it's been a real privilege to be involved as a project coordinator, because my role really is a kind of linchpin to link the academics and the community group, but it's been really great to be part of that and to see the project from its origins and the planning stage with Chamu over the phone nearly a year ago now to the success that it's been so far. So that's really where I'm coming from and my role in the project, which is very much a support, and I'm not claiming that it's a university project by any means. The impetus has come from the community group and the knowledge and experience is there. It's just a matter of finding the links in academia and matching those people. So that's all I've got to say.